You wake up. Your eyes go straight to your phone. Your eyelids are still heavy, half blurred, and the glow from the screen hits your face. 1 second later, the notification icon starts flashing. A call or a text, and inside it, that familiar sentence, "I knew it." In this video, we're going to call that moment in on purpose and unlock the inner switch that triggers communication. We're going to stabilize the energy of that "they reached out" moment in 5 minutes. We'll activate the path that leads them to call or text. We'll shut down the waiting loop in your mind and shift you into the frequency of communication is already happening. Just 5 minutes. And when those 5 minutes are done, the door you've been waiting on will already be cracked open. Let me be direct. After you listen to this, they won't be able to pull back. They'll call or they'll text. The first move comes from them. While your "what if" goes quiet, the urge inside them to reach you turns on. The impulse to start the conversation gets stronger, and the distance between you begins to close. Hey everyone, on this channel, we don't force anyone, we align ourselves. We don't chase, we move from the right place. We bring you back to the position of being the one who's chosen, because chasing is one energy, but settling into the frequency where you naturally belong, that's something else entirely. Right now, don't try to make anything happen. Catch this with honesty. You want it. And right next to that desire, there's a thin sting of lack. And when you push from the ache, when you're inside your heart going, "Please, let it happen already," you're actually sending a message underneath it all. It's not here yet, and it hurts. And the universe hears your emotion first. It responds to the vibration underneath your words. The more you focus on pain, absence, the "why hasn't it happened" question, the more your mind expands worry, the more your heart expands that hollow feeling. And then the outside world reflects back the energy you keep feeding. And right now, while these words land, notice it. Take a deep breath, because awareness is powerful. It's like a miracle switch. The moment you see the loop, it starts to break. The squeezing effect of lack loosens in the same second. And today, we're going to use that. We're going to release the mental weight that keeps circling back to the same place and cut off the energy you've been pouring into absence. So the "what if" loop goes quiet. The tightness in your chest dissolves. Your breath opens up. The waiting state gets replaced by a calm certainty. And when peace comes forward, your mind stops asking the same question over and over again. Just stay with me. Listen. Let's untie the knot. Here's where most people get stuck. It looks like the problem is them, but the knot is usually in the meaning your mind assigned to it. It's where you placed the situation in your inner world, and what story you attached to the connection. When you label communication as hard, your body tightens. Your voice, your texts, your silence, everything starts smelling like waiting. And waiting translates as neediness. It pulls the connection out of its natural flow. It disrupts ease. It leaves pressure in the air. It creates distance. It turns into a weight that pushes two people apart, especially with a specific person you care about most. But now we're going to flip the entire thing. In these 5 minutes, you step out of the role of the one who's waiting. You move into the state where the need to prove yourself, explain yourself, or check the temperature just fades out. You shift into the version of you that feels calm, certain, already okay, centered in yourself. And that shift gets felt on their side as there's no urgency in the way they text. There's no need in their tone. There's no resentment in the space they hold. They receive the signal, this is safe, no pressure. And instead of pulling away, they get curious. They want to come closer. Let me explain it like this. You know how it is in traffic. When it gets tight, your mind starts hunting for a fix. The more you rush, the more you switch lanes. But that panic actually makes the congestion worse. Everything locks up even harder. Then you relax. You stop forcing it. You let the flow be what it is. And weirdly, that's when it opens. Because when you push, the gaps close. When you stay calm, the road returns to its natural rhythm, and the opening shows up. Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. As you exhale, let the weight in your shoulders drop down. If you're holding tension there, notice it and gently lower your shoulders a little. Let it soften with the breath, like your shoulders are settling back into their natural place. If you're clenching your jaw, separate your teeth just a millimeter. Let your tongue release from the roof of your mouth and rest wherever it feels most comfortable. If you're gripping your stomach, let it go. Let your breath move down into your belly and rise back up without resistance. Feel your body settling more fully into where you are. Let your weight spread into the chair. The more you stop holding the inner load, the more your body naturally relaxes. Now remind yourself with this, slowly, and with the weight of the meaning behind it. Repeat the words that feel good to you. I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm enough. I'm worthy of love. I don't have to prove my value. Let yourself receive that, because this is the starting point. Now picture this like a scene. Your phone is on the table, screen off, and you've returned to your day. No tightness in your chest, no knot in your stomach. You're not checking your phone. The "did they text yet?" question isn't looping in your head. Your attention is on your coffee, your morning, what you're about to do. You're not running scenarios on repeat. Life is moving at its own pace. You stir your coffee. You get dressed. The smell of it lifts your mood a little. You crack a window and breathe in fresh air. You put music on. A song you love comes on, and you catch yourself smiling without even trying. And then, right then, your screen lights up. Sharp, clean, real, like a signal flare in the dark. This is exactly the normal feeling we're building. You know how with some people, texting doesn't feel heavy? One message, a reply comes back. That's what we are restoring here. Calm, natural, unforced. So communication stops being this huge thing outside your life and starts taking its rightful place inside your day, like it belongs there. Because when something becomes normal inside you, it becomes much easier for it to show up normally in the outside world. The person on your mind is thinking about you right now. I'm not saying that to decorate the video or make it sound romantic. I mean something more basic than that. When two people have shared real contact, conversations, moments, emotional exchange, something gets left behind. A trace remains. And when that trace exists, even if distance shows up, their mind circles back to you in intervals. Especially when you're no longer in that searching for signs state. Little fragments of you drop into their day. Sometimes it's an image, sometimes a song, sometimes one single word, and suddenly a page opens in their mind with you on it. Your name comes up. A detail returns. And then curiosity starts to build. What are they doing right now? Did they fully move on from me? Did they actually pull away? Or am I just overthinking? Why do they seem so composed? Why aren't they showing anything? And once that page opens, it doesn't close easily. Curiosity lingers. It grows. It bases around in their mind until it wants one clean move to complete itself. Their hand goes to their phone. The urge to text rises. The need to close the distance becomes obvious. Now say this with me, inside, as if you mean it. My specific person is curious about me. That feeling turns into action. They make the first move. A text comes in. How are you? They can't stay away from talking to me. They call me. They text me. They don't feel settled until they reach out. Again The person I love is curious about me. That feeling turns into action. They make the first move. The notification drops. How are you? They can't help but connect. They call. They text. They don't feel at ease until they reach me. When your body starts to believe it, the energy shifts inside first. And when the energy shifts inside, the way you carry yourself shifts too. Less control, less forcing. And that shows. This new state reflects you as calm, clear, and magnetic. As your behavior changes, the way you treat yourself changes. You step out of "I'm not enough" mode. You stop putting your worth up for debate. The inner change becomes readable from the outside. And when their perception of you changes, the reality you experience begins to reshape, step by step, in the direction you've chosen. So the desire inside them becomes unmistakable. To move toward you, to text, to call. It stops feeling optional. It becomes a pull they can't ignore. Now don't watch the scene from far away. Step into it. Feel the warmth of the coffee in your hand like it's real. Notice the light. Hear the room. And most importantly, be there as your truest self. Not by thinking about it, but from the inside. You're not making it up. You're remembering it. You are the one who's chosen. That means you have a place in their mind. You're the person who drops into their thoughts out of nowhere, and then the thought returns again. You matter. Your value isn't dependent on whether they text today, how they act in one moment, or what their mood looks like. Your presence leaves something behind, something that creates safety and curiosity. Something that says, I want to come back to them. And when you stay in this state, in their mind, there aren't really options the way they used to feel. A strong pull starts working under the surface. The need to come closer grows heavier than resistance. And their inner voice starts pressing them, testing their patience over and over. I need to text them. I need to hear their voice. I can't hold back. There may be a little excitement in them, a small hesitation, but it doesn't last. because the only thing that actually calms them down is moving toward you. Texting feels easy. Calling feels right. Your energy invites it. Because when someone is around you, they can breathe. Your energy relaxes them. When they're with you, they don't pick up pressure. They don't feel that tense, I'm being demanded from vibe. Being near you opens them up. They soften. Their chest loosens. Their breath gets bigger. You're not stressful. You're soothing. You feel good to them. The person on your mind feels safe in your energy. And the longer communication has been quiet, the more uncomfortable it becomes inside them. You know that moment when you pick up your phone, type something, then delete it, type again, and you're like, now or not? That loop? That same loop starts speeding up in them. It drains their patience faster and faster. And then the beautiful break happens. They stop delaying it. They pick up the phone. They wake up the screen. Their finger slides to the search bar. They type your name. And then they either hit call or they open the message box and start writing the first line. Your job is simple. Don't fight this reality the second it shows up. Don't push it away with, no way, impossible, they'll never text. And don't try to make it bigger either. Don't grab for control. Don't check their profile. Don't hover over notifications. Don't fall into counting minutes, hours, days, like, when is it coming? Just accept it. The desire inside your specific person to move toward you is already working. The first move comes from them. Because when these 5 minutes are done, the waiting state closes. Your energy shifts into, it's handled. The urge to check your phone starts fading. Your inner voice gets softer. You return to your daily rhythm more easily. That I'm okay state, that's where you can be good even without controlling anything. Where you feel safe without forcing a result. Your mind stops clinging to one question. I'm okay energy is outcome energy. Now let the corners of your mouth lift slightly. Let a soft smile appear. When you smile, a wave of ease moves through you. Your nervous system gets the message. We're safe. Ease is magnetic. and people return to what feels easy. Done, set. And this is where destiny steps in, with proof so clear you can't argue with it. Their name shows up on your screen, and within minutes, their finger goes to the call button, or they drop into your messages and send the first line. Now you can slowly open your eyes. Take a sip of water. And as today moves forward, just return to your normal life, your work, your routine, your day. The only thing you need to do is hold this state. Because when the inner state stays steady, the outer proof shows up in its own timing, without forcing, without controlling. The rest, life handles. And keep this in your pocket. The more you listen to this video again and again, communication stops being coded as a big deal in your mind. It becomes normal. It settles into your flow. And when it's normal for you, it stops sitting at the center of your attention. It doesn't occupy your mind all day. A text comes in, a call comes in, and it's just a normal notification in the middle of life. Now go to the comments and write this. It's normal for them to text me and call me. They make the first move. I care about what you write. I read every single one. And if this helped you, let's grow this together. When this video reaches 50 likes, I'll make another 5-minute video in the same format. When it reaches 100 likes, I'll turn it into a 3-part mini-series. If you like the video and subscribe, you support the channel, and you won't miss what's coming next. Thank you for being here. Have a beautiful day, because you deserve that, and I'm really glad you're here.